Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome, Wellspring families, to the 2021-22 school year. Inshallah, this presentation is going to provide you with the important information that you need to know in order to get ready for this new school year. Those of you who are coming back and joining us, welcome back. And those of you who are new to the Wellspring family, welcome. Inshallah, I plan to go over a few important information that is important as we begin to come back to some normalcy after about 18 months of being remote, hybrid, back to remote. So inshallah, I plan to speak about some of the school divisions that we have this school year, introduction of our staff members. I'm going to go over the tuition and fee and our new tuition system. I'm going to speak about some of the immunization updates, the supports that we plan to have for students this year, the school uniform, policy, health and safety, food and nutrition, important documents that need to be submitted to the school, some reminders and updates, and then we'll talk about some of the ways we're going to communicate this year. So to begin, inshallah, we plan on continuing our 3 divisions, which is on-site for those students who will attend on-site face-to-face Monday through Friday. Our Wellspring Studio program is, we're continuing with this as some parents have noticed that their children are thriving with Studio, which is our online, fully online instructional program where they receive instruction online with live teachers. And this year we're going to open it up for elementary through 6th grade. And students in this program will have a lead teacher, and they're going to be provided with the same courses and the same assessments as our on-site students. And we're still going to continue with homeschool for parents who don't want the requirements of vaccinations, or they're not working and they would like to provide homeschool instruction to their own children. They have the opportunity to collaborate with us and utilize our curriculum and instructional resources. So these are the 3 divisions that we will be operating for the 2021-2022 school year. Introduction to our staff for this school year. So there's been some changes as we have, as you can see, we've included some other programs, so some staff members have been shifted around. So in regards to the administrative staff, I am still Sister Jamiylah, the creative director and head of school for the Wellspring Schools. Sister Sharifa Khan is the assistant creative director and the assistant head of school. Radia Ismail is the school administrator and director of admissions. Sister Hiro Bukhari is our guidance counselor. Sister Shanaz Hamid is our kitchen manager, and Brother Asad Nasrullah is the head of our middle and high school program. Our elementary staff members consist of, for the lower elementary, our pre-kindergarten staff members are Safia Hussein and Aklima Chisti. Our kindergarten lead teacher is Sister Lena Weish, and our grade 1 lead teacher is Anam Hussein. The teacher assistant for both those grades is Sister Sitara Mola. For grade 2, Sister Tasneem Islam is the lead teacher for 2nd grade, and Aisha Jashem is the assistant teacher. The Arabic, Quran, and Islamic studies teachers for the lower elementary are Sister Najwa El Kosh and Najwa El Shemis. For our upper elementary, we have Brother Matthew Gonzalez, who's the 3rd grade lead teacher, and Sister Aisha Jashim, who is the assistant teacher. For grade 4, we have Alia Baksh, and for grade 5, we have Bibi Baksh, no relation, and they have the assistant teacher, Sister Johara Khartoum. The Arabic, Quran, and Islamic studies teachers for those upper grades of elementary are Sister Amal Al-Saidi and Marwa Ismail. And the specialty teachers for the elementary is Sister Nadia Kareem for visual arts, Karmoko Silla for technology, and Tashima Sparrow for physical education. For our middle school staff members, we have Sister Rahima Akhtar, who is the humanities teacher, which is the interrelation or the interconnected courses of literacy and social studies. We have Sister Sarina Ayub, who's a mathematics teacher. We have Sister Osli Olid, who's the science and health teacher. Brother Lasana Jate, who's the Arabic and Islamic studies teacher. Brother Karmoko Silla will be teaching the technology for middle school. And Imam Noor Kaukab and Sister Marwa Ismail will be the Quran teachers. And sisters, Ms. Tashima Sparrow and Brother Yusuf Ali will be the physical education teachers for middle school. Our high school staff consists of Sister Sadia Rahim, who is heading up Humanities, which is the English and Social Studies department. Brother Hasib Chowdhury will be doing math and technology. Brother Asad Nasrullah will be teaching science. Brother Zakaria Baksh will be teaching Arabic and Islamic studies. And Imam Noor and Maro Ismail will be doing Quran with the high school students. And Mr. Shima Sparrow and Brother Yusuf Ali will be doing physical education for the boys and girls of high school. Our Wellspring Studio program is going to be coordinated by Sister Shahana Olid, and she will also be doing grade 2 as the lead teacher for second grade studio. Grades 1 and 3, Hina Sheikh will be teaching grades 1 and 3, and Sister Sadia Khan will be teaching grade 6. So as we shift now to tuition, I just want to remind everybody that we have a regular tuition, which is $6,495, and a discounted tuition that is $5,995. That discounted tuition is for families who are paying in 2 installments. That's in September and December. But the regular tuition is for families paying over a 7-month installment, which goes from September through March. The fees that are associated per grade level is $1,000 for grades where students are not necessarily graduating, and $1,075 are for the grades that are graduating, kindergarten, 5th grade, 8th grade. And this year we have transitioned to smart tuition for tuition collection. And so you will see on either your credit card statement or your bank card statement, maybe a deduction from your account. And it's from a company called Smart LLC. So please know that that's your child's tuition that's being withdrawn from the accounts. And we're asking, I know in the past, parents have come and they paid by cash, they paid by check. We're asking to every extent possible to please link your Smart Tuition bank account, your smart tuition account with your credit card or your bank account to alleviate the need to come to the school to make payments. We really want this to be done online. We want to avoid having parents come to the school to make payments. So to every extent possible, we're asking that parents can please link a bank account or a credit card to their Smart Tuition accounts. And in order to be enrolled in Smart Tuition, it comes from either you signing a digital contract, whether it's a reservation contract so you can reserve your child's seat for next year, or a new student enrollment contract. Either or will then allow you to have a Smart Tuition account. But if you're having any problems, or if there's any, when you go in, you can't log in, or there's something, please email the office and let us know so that we can try to rectify that for you. So that's everything around tuition and Smart Tuition. Immunizations this year have not necessarily changed per se. The same immunizations that your child needed if they were under 5 and over 5 are the same. Those who are in pre-K and kindergarten and they're under the age of 5 will need the influenza shot, the hip shot, and the PCV shot. Those students who are in kindergarten through 12th grade, but they're 5 years and older, will need these 6 shots. And there's a protocol on our website that you can see just to make sure that your child is up to date. But we also ask that you have your child see their doctor just to make sure that they're okay, but to also make sure that they're up to date with their vaccinations. There is a vaccination for students who are 12 and above. And as a parent, you can make that determination if you want your child to be vaccinated or not. There is a great push to have students vaccinated because the Delta variant seems to be something that children are now able to catch, and and it's highly contagious, transmissible through children now. Well, the original version may not have been. They're saying that the Delta variant is. I know they're also in they're coming out, inshallah, they claim, in about 4 months or so with one for 5 years and above. So that's something, as a parent, you would have to think about, doing for your child when that time comes. So as we transition into the school year, we know that we're receiving kids who have been at home for a significant amount of time. And for most students, online learning was not the best modality of learning for students. We also know that, schools were open, they were closed, and some students may have missed out on valuable instructional time. They may not have gained everything they needed to gain for that grade level. And everyone across the country is dealing with the same issue at this time. We are looking at students when they come in to make sure they're on track. And if they're not on track, what are we going to do to assist them? So I want to talk about that for a few minutes here. So our students are receiving high quality research-based curriculum materials and instructions. In elementary, they are doing Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, which is the publisher. They're doing Journeys, they're doing Go Math. We're implementing Amplify Science into social studies. In the middle and the high schools, we are using Go Math and Amplify Science, but we're also using collections for literacy. And we also are giving our students access to advanced placement and dual credit courses. So those are the high quality research-based curriculum resources that we're giving them. But now, after going through those curriculum resources and instructional models, if we're finding that students are not progressing, if they're not accelerating because of something they may not have gotten from the year before or the past 18 months, we are prepared to provide differentiated academic support. And you may find that your child's teacher may say to you that your child is struggling, or you may find that the school may write you and say, we want to give them a little bit more help. Please work with the school, work with your child's teacher. If we're saying this, is because we're seeing something that maybe a parent is not. So when we do reach out to you, please be helpful in collaborating with us and giving your child the support that they may need. So in Journeys, there's certain differentiated materials within Journeys, such as Reader's Notebook to help students who may be struggling or need a little bit more support. There's also Level Readers, which are books where it's on their reading level. So even though they may not be on the same reading level as someone in their class, just know that they're getting the books that's on their level to help them with their personalized learning. We are utilizing a program called iReady that's going to help with writing. It's going to be in conjunction with Journeys, and it's to help writing instruction, help facilitate writing instruction. As you know, students, all of our students from grades 3 to 8 take their state tests, which they're probably going to be re-implementing in April and May of next year. And as such, students need to be able to type. They need to be able to write well, but they also need to be able to type their answers into a portal. And so we're going to be working with kids and giving them more more time towards writing and typing. So just know that, if we're asking parents to help, provide access to their children to write and type at home, please support us with that as well. In Go Math, there's reteaching for students who are struggling, and there's enrichment for students who are, they may find the math that they're doing a little easy, so we may give them more challenging work. For students who are struggling math in grades 3 to 8, we have purchased something called Math Accelerator. It's tied to the assessments that we give throughout the year, and it's personalized to what they may be struggling in. So we're asking if you get an account, and we ask you to register your child at home so they can do the work. We ask that you cooperate with us in that. Students who just need to practice. We have IXL licenses in mathematics and language arts for grades 2 to 12. We also have Imagine Learning for students who need targeted reading and mathematics instruction. And that's something that we do provide K to 12, but not every child is going to receive that. Imagine Learning is for kids who have where we see that they're behind in a certain area, and we will give them targeted instruction in that to help accelerate some gaps that they may have. We use Khan Academy as needed to help students that may need to be given instruction in a different modality. And we also have Title I tutoring and academic counseling. These will take place after school. I don't want them to pull any student out of regular instruction that we have in school. So if we're writing you and telling you, we think that your child may benefit from Title I tutoring or academic counseling, please be cooperative and allow the services to help your child. And those who have severe or persistent needs, who require a lot more personalized help, we will work with the families and their doctors to possibly create 504 plans, IEPs, or medical individualized plans if needed. So these are some of the academic supports that we plan to give children as we are bringing them back to school, and we're seeing that there may be some gaps or they may just be struggling, and we need to help accelerate some of the learning loss that may have happened, whether they were with us or they're coming from another school. At the same token, we also are prepared to give some social emotional support for those who need it. We know that students have been away from school, from their friends, they've been isolated, and as such, students have developed some social and emotional issues that we are prepared to deal with. We do have, as a universal prevention, a comprehensive guidance and counseling plan, where we have a full-time guidance counselor who's on staff to provide support for students. We have also collaborated with some mental health counselors and some social workers to provide additional support to students who may need it, because one person cannot, help the entire school at one time. Our elementary staff are trained and are continuing their training in something called Responsive Classroom, which is learning how to use some social emotional supports to help students in the elementary classrooms. Our older, the staff members who teach secondary students are going through some training and trauma-informed practices, looking at how some students may have going through some trauma. As you know, we have some students who have lost parents and other family members, and that does have a impact on how they are in school. So we are going through training to help teachers identify and work with students who may be going through some trauma. We do have behavioral expectations that we impart to all of our students. And that's something that we will work with students at the beginning of the year and throughout the year to ensure that they are adhering to our behavior expectations and standards. And those are aligned to our Islamic values and morals. And it also has some restorative justice practices in it as well. Additionally, we also have, for every middle and high school student, an advisory class, which is a non-credit bearing class that they meet with the guidance counselor once a week. There's no pressure for grades and as such, but she works with the students in either transition to middle school, transition to high school, transitioning out to college, or post-secondary aspirations. She also works with them on, helping them learn how to advocate for themselves, learning how to plan, when they have assignments and projects, learning how to, deal with things that are important to them, but it's also to make sure that they are on the path of success. So we have those in place to work with our students as they come back. Now, after implementing those things, if we're finding that students need some more targeted support and to prevent them from doing certain things, we do have individual and small group counseling sessions that can be made available for students that need it. Some students may need help with self-regulation. They may need some help with social skills. They may help with academic counseling. So we're prepared to provide students with that. And additionally, as I said in the previous slide, we are prepared to provide academic interventions as well, tutoring as needed. And after all of that, if we're finding that students are severe and some of the issues that they're having, we will have to work with the parents and maybe some other counselors to create some kind of formal behavior support. But alhamdulillah, for the most part, we've never had any children that really needed that, and inshallah we won't. But nevertheless, if it comes to that, we are prepared to deal with that. And continuing to support students, we plan to continue our after-school clubs and programs. Inshallah, we will be continuing with robotics and our Islamic values and morals clubs, creative writing, cooking, Quran enrichment, Arabic support, gaming, fitness, and additional academic support as needed. Just bear with us. We'll be in contact next week, inshallah, about the timings and the days of the week, as a lot of it still has to be worked out with staff who are available to do this. So we will be doing that. And then you will probably have to sign up in the Wellspring app for these. We will also be requesting parents to let us know if they are interested in our broader after school, the comprehensive after school program that goes from about 3 to 6, which is a different program, which has a fee associated with it. But we will be reaching out to parents to see if that's something that they want, because if that's the case, then we will have to hire some additional staff to, remain after 4 o'clock to be with the students and also make sure they're getting, what they need during that time. Uniforms are important. So I put some pictures up here just as a reminder. I know some kids, when we saw them back in May and June, they kind of grew out of their current uniforms from being home. We're just asking that kids come to school every day in the uniform. As you can see, for boys, it doesn't matter if from pre-K through 12, actually from kindergarten through 12, they need to wear a blue polo shirt, long sleeve polo shirt, and khaki pants. We notice it more in the older grades. Please do not, if you have hoodies, please do not wear those hoodies over your uniforms. It's not part of the uniform. The school is not cold. The school is not warm. And every classroom has their own individualized heating system. So students should not, there's no need for students to wear a hoodie over or hooded shirt over their uniform. Additionally, students will be in gym every day, so they need to wear sneakers to school as opposed to shoes. And for females in the elementary grades, the long sleeve blue polo shirt and the khaki pants are needed, but they are to wear a khaki jumper over that shirt and pants. And for those students in grade 6 and above, an abaya is needed. They cannot wear the khaki jumper, and they must wear hijab, and the hijab can be of any color, but the dress needs to be blue. And the middle and high school boys as well should wear the long sleeve navy blue polo shirt with the khaki pants. So shifting now to health and safety, I just want to announce that, and this is something that hasn't changed over the past 18 months, that all staff, students, and visitors must wear masks to enter the building. When school has begun, the wellspring arrival in the morning must take place on the masjid on the sisters' side. You'll see staff members that are there, so you'll know where to send your children. Students that come in until 8 o'clock will come and sit in the masjid, and then they will be dismissed to their classes with their teachers. Any student who comes after 8 a.m. will have to come through the school main entrance, so please don't come to the masjid, because then the guards shift to the school. Every person who comes into the building will have to have their temperature checked with a non-contact thermometer. Anyone who has a temperature cannot enter the school. I'm begging from the bottom of my heart, please check with your children every morning. Make sure that they do not have a fever. Make sure that they're feeling well. If they're not feeling well, it may be okay to keep them at home. We want to make sure that everyone is safe, and we don't want them to get sick or them to infect anyone else. So just please check your children every morning before they leave us. Anyone who comes in sick, we're not gonna let them in. We're gonna ask them to quarantine. There is an isolation room that they will be in, and we will call and ask the parent to come for them. Upon coming in, students and staff and visitors will have to cleanse their hands with a hand sanitizer, and then they will be directed to wherever they're supposed to be, with a student to their class, if it's a parent, to the office. We will provide signage around the school, reminding staff and students to socially distance, and if there's an area that can only have a certain amount of occupants, that will be listed conspicuously. We also have visual cues, especially in the lower grades, to ensure that procedures are followed when students are not, they cannot read just yet. So we'll try to have pictures posted around to inform those students of what they should be doing. Inside the classrooms and around the school will be hand sanitizers that's readily available. We're going to ask that there's no communal school supplies that are shared. Everybody has their own supplies, and they use their own supplies and not share. And then there will be a hand washing schedule just to remind staff and students that throughout the day they need to constantly wash their hands. In the offices that we have, in the lounges, we will use disinfectant after every use, just to make sure that we're not picking up germs and transmitting them and spreading them. Trying to limit that as much as possible. And something that's new that has come out from the state education, actually the new governor, she is now requiring every single school, whether it's public, non-public, or charter, to conduct weekly COVID-19 testing for all unvaccinated staff and students. Now, that includes a lot of our students because a lot of them are under 12. I do want to note that this does require parent consent, so we will be sending a consent form home. But nevertheless, it is something that is mandated upon all schools now, which is a big undertaking for us, which is one of the reasons we ended up having to close last year. And I'm not saying this is going to make us close, because now they're going to provide us with funds and some facilities to do that. But just know that it's coming, and we will be providing more guidance as we get it, inshallah, next week. Additionally, in the classrooms, new windows have been installed in every single classroom. Every single classroom has an air purifier. All classrooms that have air conditioners and ventilation, heating and cooling are regularly cleaned, but their filters are regularly cleaned and or replaced. As I said earlier, there is an isolation room to keep 6 students until their parents pick them up, and it will be manned by a staff member who will have to wear PPE equipment to be with this student until they're picked up. We do have a 2-month supply of PPE equipment for face masks, gloves, face shields that are be stocked, but I'm going to ask the parents to just make sure that you are sending your child to school with a mask or 2. N95s are the best, but if you don't have access to it, just make sure you're sending your child to school with more than 1 mask, because throughout the day they come off, they rip off, but they need to have extra. We can provide it, but I want the students to be responsible and making sure that they have masks, throughout the day. Additionally, as we have done last year, we will disinfect every room, every office, and the hallways every day with disinfecting clean sprite and the electrostatic sprayer. Each classroom has a sanitation kit that includes gloves, disinfectant wipes, sprays, so that teachers can wipe down all parts of their classroom. And each classroom will also have access to a UV light sanitizer that will be illuminated after school, not during the day. In regards to food and nutrition, alhamdulillah, we have worked really hard to apply for these programs that allow breakfast and lunch to be free for students. I'm just going to request that any parent who wants their child to receive free breakfast or lunch to just inform their lead teacher or their homeroom teacher if they're in grade 6 and above, if they want to participate in breakfast and lunch, just so we can have a number and we can prepare that daily. The monthly menu that gives you what we're going to serve for breakfast and lunch is found on the Wellspring app under resources. So you need to go into your account under the Wellspring app to see what's being served. If there's an issue with a child being allergic to something that we're cooking, we're also asking you, even though you may have sent that information to the office, please inform your child's lead teacher or homeroom teacher of any food allergies so that we can accommodate. The more that people know, the less the possibility of a child receiving something that they don't have to receive. So please just let us know. If you haven't, let us know, and your child's teacher know if they have any food allergies. And if there's something on the menu that it's maybe your child just doesn't like, we can provide other alternatives such as grilled cheese, peanut butter and jelly. So just send a message to the school so we can try to accommodate them. And breakfast and lunch will be delivered to the classrooms for elementary students, so they don't have to come to the kitchen area, but middle and high school students will come and pick up their own meals. Students will wash their hands before and after eating, and then students are going to be encouraged not to share any meals. They have to eat their own so that we can limit the amount of contact in between children. And the classroom desks and chairs will be sanitized before and after lunch to ensure that the high touch areas around the classroom are thoroughly cleaned. As we open the school year, there's always documents that are needed so that we can be in compliance with state and city laws and policies. The first one is something called the Home Language Survey. You can find it on our website. This is really for new families or families who, maybe slipped through the cracks and didn't submit one before. But a Home Language Survey is only due once, and it's just kind of identifying what language is the child exposed to at home, and what is their level of proficiency in that language. a lunch form has to be filled out for all families. So even though lunch is free, we still are required to submit information and documentation to the state about our family. So even if you're making $1 million or you're making $1, we still need a lunch form from every family. Immunization forms are necessary every year. Again, you should have your child visit their doctor, let them fill out the medical form, submit that medical form to us, and the immunization, so we know that you're up to date. We do get, we have to go through a submission of data about immunization every year. So we don't want to have to go behind parents and ask them to do something and ask if they got this immunization, or constantly calling doctors about immunization issues. We're asked to just make sure that you send the most up-to-date immunization forms to the school, inshallah. And just some reminders and updates. On Friday, this coming Friday, inshallah, there is a parent orientation with your children's teacher. There are going to be 2 sessions. You can decide which session you would like to attend. You can attend 11 a.m. or at 5 p.m. And we try to make accommodations for parents who are working. Your child's teacher or lead teacher or home teacher will send you an email with a link so that you can join. Please, and it's nothing that is going to be on site. And inshallah, they will record these sessions for those parents who could not attend. School is open every day from 8 a.m. to 2:50. Students do arrive early sometimes, those who come on a bus about 7:30. So we will be open at 7:30 to receive bus students. The official school attendance, meaning that your child's official attendance for the day, takes place between 8 o'clock a.m. and 8:10 a.m. If students are not in and their attendance is not taken, they will be marked absent at that time. An automatic email is going to be generated and sent to you to let you know that. If they arrive after 8:12, they will have to fill out a form and they will be marked late, and we will undo the attendance and mark them late. So please know that it's going to be on what our time is. So please make sure, to every extent possible, that your children are at school on time. It's very important that they're in school, that they're on time, they're attending their classes. So in terms of the Wellspring expansion, as you know, we have been undergoing an expansion project for some time now, and it's continuing. But alhamdulillah, we have had some progress. The second floor of our building has the 4 classrooms that were on the second floor have all been gutted and redone. And we also have the addition of 2 additional classrooms on the second floor. So that's a welcomed addition. They're all brand new. And each school has, each classroom has updated hotspots and smart TVs and Chromebooks. I'm excited about that. Gym, physical education, because we still don't have access to our gym, we have purchased tents so that students can engage in physical education every single day outdoors though, and they will be heated in the winter. So we're happy about that. It gets to be outside, so they're not kind of stuck inside. And we also have upgraded our technology lab with brand new computers, updated computers, and we have a massive bandwidth upgrade around all of Wellspring and the Masjid. So we're happy about those things. And inshallah, it would allow for us to implement some of the interventions that I was speaking about earlier, and it allows many children to be on the internet at the same time without slowing down the internet service and speed. And I'm going to end with just reminding you guys about, I know it's the beginning of the school year. Sometimes you have questions, comments, concerns. You can call us. The phone rings a lot. So we're answering the phones, but if you can't get through, please just email us. I think about 4 or 5 people get the email and we can respond to it. I know a lot of times your questions are geared towards Radia, but a lot of us can answer those questions and help remedy any issues for you. So you can call us, but if you can't get to us, please email us at the office at thewellspringschools.org. Additionally, we have the Wellspring app, and every student and every parent has an account. And I need to make sure that every parent goes in and establishes their account, because Parents are the only ones that can sign forms, give permission for activities, submit official documents. Especially when it's about to come to after school, a child can't go into their account and decide they're going to register for something. It has to come from a parent, and a parent means that a parent has to have a Wellspring app account. All assignments and official reports and attendance activities take place through the Wellspring app. So we need to make sure that students and parents have their accounts that active. And I just also want to mention that only students can submit classwork and assignments to their teachers. It cannot come from the parent account. So both the child and the parent needs to have, their accounts, so that parents can do what they need to do and children or students can do what they need to do. We are also trying to communicate as frequently as possible with parents about information. So we're asking you to sign up for our text messaging service. A lot of you have already. I'm going to resend out the information about the text so that you can sign up for it, so that you can get up-to-date information that will come as a text and or an email. And I just want to end by just saying thank you to those parents and the families who have worked with us through this very, very, very difficult year and a half. And even though we are planning to be on site, at any point in time, anything can happen and we may have to go remote. And I'm hoping we don't have to go remote, but nevertheless, we're prepared to go remote if we have to. But our goal is to try to stay open and service the kids on site, service the kids properly who are in studio, and work with the families who are doing homeschool. And I'm going to ask if anybody has any devices or books from last school year, please return them to the school so that we don't have to purchase those items again. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to email us. I'm looking forward to a lovely, successful school year, inshallah ta'ala. I wish everyone well. And I bid you the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.